going to explain what happened, why it happened, and what I think about it, and how it applies to all of us, even if you may never end up in front of the Supreme Court. Tennessee's in the building. I see Eastern North Carolina. China H, good morning. Jennifer WWP, good morning. So here's what happened. There was a 9-0 decision issued on June 5th, which was exactly a week ago, by the U.S. Supreme Court. Those of you who don't know how the court systems work, you only end up in front of the Supreme Court after you go through all the other levels of court, and for whatever reason you maybe didn't get the outcome you wanted, and then you can appeal to a higher court, and only if they decide that they're going to listen to what you have to say, then you can go to the higher court. So if you go to some low-level court in your town and you don't like the outcome, you can appeal to a higher level court, and if they say, okay, we'll listen to it, then you can go to them. But if they say, no, we won't listen to it, then you basically got to deal with whatever you got. So you only end up at the Supreme Court after you go through other levels of court, and the Supreme Court eventually says, we will listen to your case, and then they will issue a ruling. So this is how someone ends up in front of the Supreme Court. So what happened here is a case called Ames versus Iowa Department of Youth Services. I don't know if any of you know about this case, but let me explain to you what happened. And they ruled, Supreme Court ruled 9-0, a unanimous decision. They all agreed, all 9 judges, all 9 justices, even those who are some on the left, some on the right, they all agreed on this one right here. Here's what they agreed. Workers who belong to the so-called majority, quote unquote, groups, such as white people, heterosexuals, or males, the majority groups, you are equally protected under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. And we'll get into what exactly that means. Just pay attention. You do not face a higher burden of proof when you claim workforce discrimination. That's what the Supreme Court ruled just a week ago. That just because you are part of a majority group, if you're a white person and you claim discrimination, or you're a heterosexual person and you claim discrimination, or you're a male and you claim discrimination, you are equally protected under the Civil Rights Act and do not have a higher burden of proof to prove discrimination than somebody who is black or gay or female. They had to prove the same burden that you had to prove. Your level, your measuring stick is not higher just because you're part of a majority group. This is a very important ruling. And this one, most people didn't even notice that this happened. But this is a very important ruling that all of you need to understand, because it means, and we're going to talk a lot about what it means here today, is that this is shifting things a little bit more back to the center, is the way that I would describe it. Maybe not everybody agrees with that, but that's exactly what's happening here. And I'm going to explain why that is and how that is.